kind of, I kind of want to know what
Ron
what
Stewart.
Ron Stewart, what I want to follow in the days of his life because obviously, Ed Burns wasn't going for the traditional rock star. What kind of music does he play? Because we don't know. He's a singer. He doesn't look like a singer to me. I can imagine him up on stage doing rock moves. You know, he's not throwing televisions out of the window or drinking or doing drugs. He's ordering R2D2. He loves
Yeah,
comic books. He says they're the window to the soul or something like that. Doesn't he make some kind of comment like that?
yeah,
So I would like to know a little bit about more just his daily life
yeah.
because he doesn't live. I mean, it didn't look like he was having it delivered. It didn't look like a super fancy apartment. Not really.
But
But
he
it
rolls
did
up
have an
in a
elevator. It looked like it opened.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he does roll up in
So
a
what's he have like a?
a limo.
He does have that limo, doesn't he?
Yeah, he like rolls up in a
So
limo, but then he's super normal. And the other crazy thing is he plays Saratoga, which Dave Matthews plays Saratoga. So it's a big amphitheater with like 10, 12,000, fifteen
so he
thousand
he,
people.
he could be like maybe he's a member of Fish.
Yeah, maybe he is.
But you know what I mean? Just these few little things like when I think of rock star, I don't think of him. I don't think of a
No.
guy that looks like that. I think of Robbie Williams or maybe Bono or Dave Matthews or somebody that gets playing a guitar or singing or big crowds. So
Speaking of British rock stars, did you see that Take That and Robbie Williams are like doing some kind of they're doing some kind of like getting back together but from their houses.
really,
But it's called Take That, or it's called Robbie Williams and Take That. Which I'm like, that's like saying Justin Timberlake and NSYNC.
yeah, yeah.
But anyway, that was a side note.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I
But I mean,
saw
it's
that.
cool. But it's kind of weird that that's the way it's set
We
up.
we watch a British TV show every week, so we get those kinds
That's
of
what you were telling me. That's what you were
yeah.
saying.
So if you had a chance to ask any of the characters a question, what would it be?
Um, I would ask Coach. I would just basically say, why are you pining after your wife? Why are you holding on to her so tight? I don't see a connection here, man. I understand. You love her, but it's obviously she's left. She's here with the what's his name, Ron Johnson,
Ron Stewart.
Ron Stewart, Ron Stewart. She's here with Ron Stewart. So there's got to be something other than your loneliness that's driving you to find her, and I'd like to know what his answer would be to
Mhm.
that because we know that what happened to Ed Burns' wife, so we can understand. Maybe not why he can't get over her, but it takes time for different people to get over things like that. So yeah, that's what I would ask the coach.
It's so funny that you say that because my question was going to be, Jack, what happened to your wife? So obviously I missed something there.
I just assumed she died, but I might be wrong.
You're probably right. I just didn't pick up on the clues near as well as you
But
did.
it could have been he might have said it in the commentary, and I just brought that over into the film.
So if I was to
I'm sorry about
switch,
that.
if I was to come up with a new question, um, I would ask Chris Parnell, why are you such a jerk? Like, I think he was well cast for that role, but I just think the role is such a meaningless role. And it's like, why are you such a jerk to
Yeah.
everybody? You're just a complete like butthole.
He does say a lot of jerkish things to the coach.
Yeah, he
He's,
really
he's like,
does.
how about I, he's like, Coach, how about I call you Coach? Can I call you Coach? So
He's just mean for no reason. It's like, what's your problem?
maybe he was just trying to come off as bitter and trying to be like, push himself away emotionally from anything distant, I guess.
my other question would be for Jack of like, all right, so you've like sunk into this detective business because like of the grief that you felt in your life, but what would you be doing differently if you weren't dealing with this grief? Like, would you be
Yeah, if
working
you
the same?
had the girl back,
I don't think he would though, but I don't
maybe he's
know.
just a sad sack. I mean, really.
I really, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, all right, what about music then? We haven't talked too much about music. I thought this is the biggest parallel that I saw between Brothers McMullen and this film is the music had that same tone to it. This was P.T. Walkley was in for this movie, which he's
Right.
worked with a lot in his later projects. But also the there's the chase scene
He
where they
followed me on Twitter briefly for a while
oh
too.
PT Walk. I actually emailed him one time and he sent me a little cut from
Okay.
Nice Guy Johnny. Yeah,
Very cool. Very cool.
but it was when they were they were chasing Chris Parnell's character, the Cougar. That reminded me of when who was the girl who chased Jack in Brothers McMullen? The femme de fatale.
The dark-headed girl with kind of the slender nose.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. But anyway, when she chased him through NYU, it had that same exact feel to it,
It
same
did. Now that you
music.
mention that.
So that's why this movie and that film, I think it played well because I think it's very simple and it's very small, and that's what this film was.
And I think it works
This,
better on the small screen, the computer screen. I think it looks on the big screen. You would be able to tell that it was a cheaper film. I think on
mhm,
a smaller screen, you can't tell as much. As
yeah,
much.
I think the music really helped shape it and
Yeah,
keep it
yeah.
as like you feel like one of those little holdouts. Like this movie's like a little holdout like that he mentions, and the music I think becomes the same thing. It's very
Well, that was funny
independent.
that you mentioned Holdout because I think the original title was called The Last Holdouts because he mentioned
Um,
something about the buildings, how this one building is holding out, and he was referring to himself and Coach as
Coach.
holdouts, not wanting to change.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, it's cool that you mentioned that.